A united Nigeria remains the most operational means of preserving and protecting the variegated interests of those within the territory, while the big three, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba, jostle for sectional dividends. They forget that there are other groups, the presumed minority ethnic nationalities in the phylum. Nigeria has over 250 ethnic nationalities, but are they supposed small lots lesser citizens? Should the interests of the big three be the governing aspiration and grail of other groupings in the taxonomy? Have we asked what the Afade in Yobe State, the Afizeri in Plateau State, Afo Eloyi in Nasarawa State, the Bauchi in Niger State, the Boki in Cross River, the Anang in Akwa Ibom, and many other classes under the Nigeria family tree wants? What do you think they really want, all those smaller ethnic groups? Some apostles of secessionism have been conscripted these ethnic nationalities into their abstract territories by faith without considering their peculiarity. The arrogance of the Igbo, the Yoruba, and the Hausa are largely responsible for the parlous state of the country. Nigeria should not rise and fall on these big three. Nigeria is bigger and stronger than any of these groups on which the country currently pivots. A united Nigeria guarantees freedom to exist for the small ethnic genus. Well, as I have always said, a united Nigeria remains a viable venture for all. I have followed the agitation for self-determination by the peoples of southern Nigeria, and my interest is plagued by the crusading techniques of the agitators from the southwest. Even in potentially combustible situations, they have managed to arrest their emotions and keep their demons in the abyss. Although they took the agitation to the streets a number of times, they have always been circumspect about when to retreat and not to get off the deep end. Tax is a weapon the Yoruba deploy masterfully in naughty situations. Instead of going all head in, they step back and dispatch the greatest ammunition in the armory of civilization. Tax does it for the Yoruba. On Thursday, the Ilana Omodua, the group crusading for an independent Yoruba nation led by Banji Akintoye, released a manual to guide its members in their calls for self-determination. They declared no to violent struggle. This declaration comes in the heat of the arrest and detention of Sunday Igboho, the firebrand agitator in the Benin Republic. Here is a demonstration of great precipence by the Yoruba nation agitators. We, Yoruba, lead in the choice of the peaceful and law-abiding path to our goal of a separate country of our own, and we, the servants of the Yoruba nation in this struggle, faithfully operate and always faithfully operate with methods of peaceful organization, peaceful demands, peaceful propaganda, peaceful process, peaceful legal actions, peaceful political persuasion, and peaceful negotiation. We push for negotiating tables and never push for street brawls or any other kind of conflict. And if we find among our people any nationalist activist, person or group that is inclined towards violence, we will encourage them to turn instead to peaceful and law-abiding means. After careful studies of the records of separatist movements in our world, we are persuaded that the peaceful approach is more likely to succeed. Various nationalities agitations in various countries of the world have, in the course of the past century, employed violent means at various times while striving to achieve their nationalist goal. Yoruba groups engaged in serving the Yoruba nation need to note carefully that none of these uses of violence or terroristic methods achieve their purpose of self-determination or autonomy for their nations. All they succeeded in doing was to generate confrontations and wars with the government of their countries. By denouncing violence and emphasizing peaceful methods for achieving self-determination, the Yoruba nation agitators have judiciously submitted to Nigeria's law while not obviating their agenda. It also wins them more sympathy. This is a contrast to the approach of their siblings crusaders in the lower Niger area who unleashed violence on security agents and citizens, threatening critics, destroying property, and ended up turning their region into Aleppo in Syria. Violence achieves nothing but death, broken bones, and spilled blood. Self-determination is a universal right, but taking up arms to kill citizens and security agents of government is terrorism. Really, in all the agitations across divides, the end game is not to succeed. The 2023 presidential election is the Venus flytrap with nectar attracting all kinds of creatures. I believe by the time these agitators will taper off, the agitation are precious material for political negotiation. The Yoruba are playing their cards right. Well, what is good for the goose is good for the ganders, because some of the statements they are accused of Nnamdi Kanu of saying that he said this, he said that, and you see that they are collating all of those things where they will settle that in court. Like I said, what is good for the goose and good for the, it's also good for the ganders. You see what the Miyetti Allah, the Fulani Esme are doing. Then why is it that the thing is the same thing is not repeated to them as well? At the end of the day, if somebody is telling us that it is because of a politics and what have you, that is why they are doing all these things. So is this as a result of a 2023 election that is making Fulani Esme to be killing everybody all over the place? So you think something just happened without anything? No, nothing happens without anything. Something led to all of these things, which the government is not even ready to talk about. Where Hausa are suffering the same thing, Igbos people are suffering. One day Yorubas and Igbos will help Hausa to free from the cage of the Fulanis. The Hausas don't speak out, they are afraid of their slave masters. Hausa condition is worse because they have lost all their cultural heritage in the hand of foreigners, which are Fulanis. All their emirs are Fulanis. 95% of their governors in core north are Fulanis. You can imagine. You succeeded in writing rubbish. Let me tell you, freedom is taken and not given. So if you like start prostrating for the rest of your life, you won't be given freedom, and which is true. Where this writer is a paid agent who is out to force words of praises on Yoruba groups to get them to self-pedal in their agitation, is out to force them to toe the line of what the government of Buhari and APC want, so that in the end they will become objects of mockery. Remember, this is Nigeria. It will be done in history, and some officials of government present, we always remind them that they are only looking for opportunity to negotiate for plump federal appointment should they have need to protest in future. You are God and you have spoken and it remains so. But let me tell you, the only thing that is permanent in this world is change. Please write down. Yes, I agree with Yoruba agitators. The peaceful dialogue is the best way to go. Even with the peaceful dialogue, what has it turned to? The peaceful dialogue, all of you be deceiving yourself. The peaceful dialogue, what has it turned to? Is it not? Have they not twisted everything? So guys, leave your comment down there below and let's have your take.